Warning: 7 vegetables seniors should avoid at all costs. As we get older, our bodies change, and so do our nutritional needs. The foods that were once harmless and perhaps even beneficial in our younger years can become a bit of a health hazard as we age. One area where seniors need to pay special attention is in the vegetables they consume. It may sound surprising, but some veggies that seem healthy could actually cause more harm than good. Today, let's take a deep dive into 7 vegetables that seniors should avoid at all costs. And don't worry, this won't be a lecture. I'll keep it light, playful, and packed with facts to help you understand why avoiding these veggies is in your best interest. Let's face it, as we age, our digestive systems, kidneys, and bones don't work as well as they used to. That's why it's essential to take extra care when choosing what to eat. Many vegetables, while loaded with vitamins and minerals, can also come with certain risks. Knowing which ones to avoid can help seniors stay healthy and feeling their best for years to come. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first vegetable we're going to talk about might catch you by surprise: spinach. It's the leafy green that's often touted as a superfood, packed with vitamins and minerals like vitamin K, folate, and iron. Popeye made it famous, right? It's practically a health icon. But here's the twist: spinach is one of those vegetables that, while it's full of nutrients, might not be the best choice for seniors to eat in excess. And I know what you're thinking. Wait, what? Spinach isn't good for you? Well, not always, especially if you're over the age of 60. Here's why. Spinach contains a compound called oxalates, which is a fancy term for naturally occurring substances found in certain plants. These oxalates have a bit of a bad reputation because they can bind to calcium in the body and form something really unpleasant: kidney stones. As we get older, our kidneys aren't as efficient as they used to be, and that means it becomes a bit trickier for our bodies to get rid of excess oxalates. When they pile up and bind with calcium, they can form kidney stones, and trust me, that's not something you want to deal with. Kidney stones are painful, and for seniors, they can lead to long-term complications and even hospital visits. So, yeah, spinach, while healthy, can be a little problematic in this department. But hold on, there's another reason why spinach might not be the best vegetable for your plate. Those oxalates I mentioned earlier can also interfere with calcium absorption. Now, calcium is like the best friend your bones need to stay strong and healthy. As we get older, bone density naturally decreases, and calcium becomes even more important. If you're constantly eating foods like spinach that block calcium absorption, you might be setting yourself up for some bone health issues down the line. It's like trying to fill a glass with water that's got a big hole in the bottom. What you need isn't going to stay there for long. So, does this mean you need to say goodbye to spinach forever? Not at all. It's still a great option, packed with nutrients. But for seniors, it's wise to eat it in moderation. A small handful of spinach in a smoothie or salad here and there is fine, but make sure you're not making it a daily habit. Your kidneys and bones will thank you later. Next on the list is potatoes. Yes, I know they're a staple in so many comfort foods: mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, French fries, you name it. They've been around for centuries and are often considered the perfect side dish. But here's the thing: potatoes, while delicious, might not be the best choice for seniors to indulge in on the regular. Now, don't start sending me hate mail just yet. Potatoes aren't inherently bad, but they can cause some issues, especially when eaten in large quantities or prepared in certain ways. First off, potatoes are high in carbohydrates, which is something to consider if you're dealing with diabetes or pre-diabetic conditions, both of which are more common among seniors. Carbs, when digested, break down into glucose or sugar in the bloodstream. If you eat too many carbs, your blood sugar levels can skyrocket, and that's a big problem for people with diabetes. Consistently high blood sugar levels can lead to all sorts of complications, such as an increased risk of heart disease, kidney problems, nerve damage, and even vision loss. So while that big bowl of mashed potatoes might sound tempting, it could be making things a lot more complicated for your health. But wait, it gets worse. When potatoes are fried or baked at high temperatures, they form a potentially harmful substance called acrylamide. It's a chemical that forms when starchy foods, like potatoes, are cooked at high heat. Think French fries, potato chips, or crispy roasted potatoes. And here's the kicker: acrylamide has been linked to an increased risk of cancer. Yep, you heard that right. It's one of those sneaky compounds that you don't see, but your body can feel the effects of. So, while that plate of golden, crispy fries may look irresistible, it might be doing more harm than good, especially if you're a senior trying to keep things healthy. Now, does this mean you have to give up potatoes entirely? Not at all. Potatoes can still be a part of your diet, but it's best to stick with baked or boiled potatoes whenever you can. They're much healthier than their fried counterparts and won't spike your blood sugar as much. And of course, try not to make them a daily habit. A potato here and there is fine, but moderation is key, especially as you age. So, next time you're craving potatoes, think twice about how you prepare them, and maybe opt for something a little more heart-healthy. Your body will thank you. Now let's talk about tomatoes. Now, before you start worrying that I'm about to ruin your pizza night or your favorite summer salad, don't panic just yet. Tomatoes are indeed packed with beneficial nutrients like vitamin C and antioxidants, such as lycopene, which are great for fighting off those pesky free radicals in the body. They can help with heart health and even improve skin elasticity, making them a decent choice for your diet. But here's where things get a little tricky, especially for seniors. Tomatoes contain a compound called solanine, which in large quantities can cause some digestive issues. Now, solanine is mostly found in the green parts of the tomato, such as the stems and leaves, as well as in unripe tomatoes. For most people, this isn't a big deal, but for seniors, the story is a little different. As we age, our digestive systems can become more sensitive and less efficient at processing certain compounds, including solanine. When consumed, solanine can lead to digestive discomfort, including symptoms like nausea, stomach cramps, and bloating. It's not a fun experience, and the last thing you want is a stomach ache after enjoying a meal. So, while tomatoes are usually fine in small amounts, seniors should be cautious about consuming them in large quantities or in raw, unripe forms. But wait, there's more to the tomato tale. Tomatoes are also quite acidic, and as we age, our stomachs can become more sensitive to acidic foods. This means that something as seemingly innocent as a nice tomato salad or a bowl of tomato soup can trigger issues like heartburn or acid reflux. For those of us over 60, heartburn can become a more frequent problem, and tomatoes, being high in acid, can really aggravate these conditions. If you've ever felt that burning sensation in your chest after eating something acidic, you know exactly what I mean. It's not just uncomfortable. It can also lead to long-term damage if it's not managed properly. So, what does this all mean? While tomatoes aren't the worst thing you can eat, it's important to be mindful of how much and how often you consume them, especially if you've got a sensitive stomach. Opting for cooked tomatoes, which are lower in acid, and making sure they're ripe can help reduce some of the negative effects. Moderation is key here. Enjoy your tomatoes, but don't overdo it. Your stomach will thank you. Next up, we have Brussels sprouts. Now, these little green veggies might look cute and healthy, but don't let their tiny appearance fool you. They are indeed packed with nutrients like fiber and vitamin K, which are essential for bone health and overall well-being. However, for seniors, Brussels sprouts may cause more trouble than they're worth. Let's break it down. First of all, Brussels sprouts are a great source of fiber, which is usually a good thing, right? Fiber helps keep things moving in your digestive system and can lower the risk of heart disease. But as we age, our digestive systems don't work as efficiently as they used to. This means that too much fiber can actually cause some serious discomfort. Bloating, gas, and even constipation are common complaints when fiber intake goes through the roof. Since Brussels sprouts are loaded with fiber, eating too many of them can lead to an upset stomach, and let's be honest, no one wants that. But that's not all. Brussels sprouts are also known for containing a group of substances called goitrogens, which are compounds that can interfere with thyroid function. This is especially important for seniors who may have pre-existing thyroid conditions. Goitrogens can block the absorption of iodine, which is essential for proper thyroid hormone production. In people with hypothyroidism, a condition where the thyroid doesn't produce enough hormones, consuming goitrogen-rich foods like Brussels sprouts can make matters worse. This can lead to symptoms like fatigue, weight gain, and even mood swings. So, if you already have thyroid issues, Brussels sprouts might not be the best vegetable to throw into your diet. Now, I'm not saying you need to completely banish Brussels sprouts from your meals, but moderation is definitely the key here. If you love these little guys, try to limit how often you eat them and pay attention to how your body reacts. A small serving here, and there should be fine for most seniors. But if you start noticing bloating or thyroid issues, it might be time to cut back. It's all about finding a balance that works for your body and being mindful of how certain foods can affect your health as you age. Keep things in check, and your stomach and thyroid will thank you. Next up, we have corn, a vegetable that's loved by many and often gets a pass because it's so familiar and versatile. But here's the truth you might not want to hear. Corn is high in starch, which can lead to a blood sugar disaster, especially for seniors. If you're already dealing with diabetes or are at risk, corn can make managing blood sugar levels a bit more challenging. Starchy foods like corn are broken down into sugar in the body, and for those with insulin resistance or diabetes, this can cause spikes in blood sugar. We all know how important it is to keep blood sugar in check, and corn can throw a wrench in that if eaten too often. But wait, there's more. While the starch content is a concern, corn also tends to be genetically modified GM, which is something that people trying to avoid GMOs should keep in mind. Genetically modified corn is common in many processed foods, and if you prefer to eat organic or non-GMO foods, this could be an issue. For some, consuming GM foods is a personal choice based on health concerns or environmental preferences. It's always a good idea to check the labels or opt for non-GMO corn if you're looking to stay away from modified versions. Let's not forget about digestion. As we get older, our digestive systems slow down, and corn can be particularly hard to break down. This means that even though you're eating something that seems pretty innocent, your body might not be able to process it as well as it did when you were younger. The result? Bloating, indigestion, and just an overall feeling of discomfort. For seniors, these digestive issues can be a real pain, and nobody wants to feel sluggish after a meal. And here's another kicker. The corn syrup found in many processed foods is a whole different beast. You'll find it in everything from soft drinks to pre-packaged snacks, and it's loaded with sugar. For seniors, maintaining a healthy weight is crucial for overall health, and corn syrup contributes to weight gain by adding unnecessary calories and sugar. Plus, excess sugar in the diet can increase the risk of heart disease and other health problems. If you're a corn lover, it's time to consider cutting back. You don't have to say goodbye to it forever, but maybe try switching it out for healthier grains like quinoa or brown rice, which are lower in starch and easier on the digestive system. These grains also offer more fiber, which is great for digestive health, and they won't cause your blood sugar to spike. Small changes like this can make a huge difference in how you feel. So, love corn? Just don't let it be your go-to vegetable every day. Keep it in check, and your body will thank you. We can't forget about eggplant, a vegetable that seems harmless enough, right? It's all purple and glossy, looking pretty and unassuming in your veggie drawer. But hold on, because eggplant actually comes with a few surprises. Just like tomatoes, eggplant contains solanine, a compound that can cause some serious digestive distress for seniors. Solanine is one of those substances that can sneak up on you and wreak havoc if you're not careful. For some people, too much solanine can lead to symptoms like nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting. Now, that's definitely not the way you want to end your meal. For seniors who already have sensitive stomachs or digestive issues, eggplant can turn into a real troublemaker. The worst part? The symptoms might not show up right away, so it's easy to think everything's fine until it's not. But wait, the dangers of eggplant don't stop at solanine. Eggplants are also part of the nightshade family, which includes other vegetables like tomatoes, potatoes, and peppers. While these vegetables are packed with nutrients, some seniors can experience adverse reactions to nightshades. If you suffer from joint pain or arthritis, it's worth noting that nightshades like eggplant can trigger inflammation and actually make those conditions worse. Yep, you heard me right. If you're dealing with joint pain, reaching for eggplant might not be the best choice, since it could make the swelling and discomfort worse. Now, don't worry. This doesn't mean you have to miss out on all the deliciousness that eggplant brings to the table. There are plenty of alternatives out there that will let you enjoy the same flavors without the risk. For example, zucchini is a fantastic substitute. It's mild, easy to digest, and doesn't carry the same risks as eggplant. Or you could go with peppers, which are a great option for adding some sweetness and crunch to your meals. They're also part of the nightshade family, but they're usually a lot easier on the stomach than eggplant. So, while eggplant might look like a harmless little veggie, it can cause big problems for seniors, especially those with sensitive digestive systems or joint pain. It's always a good idea to be cautious and consider other options that are easier on the body. Just because a veggie is popular doesn't mean it's the right choice for everyone. And when it comes to eggplant, it's definitely a good idea to enjoy it in moderation, or skip it altogether if you're dealing with any of these issues. Lastly, let's talk about asparagus, that fancy vegetable with its unique taste and supposed health benefits. You know the one. It's often on your plate at a fancy dinner or featured in a trendy salad. But before you start thinking it's just a harmless green, hold up. Asparagus is actually packed with purines, which, when broken down in the body, turn into uric acid. Now, why is that a problem? For seniors who suffer from gout, a painful form of arthritis caused by high uric acid levels, asparagus can make things a lot worse. Gout attacks can happen out of nowhere, and they're notoriously painful. They usually affect your joints, often starting in the big toe, and can feel like someone's setting your foot on fire. Fun, right? Not so much. But here's the thing. Gout attacks are already tough enough to deal with without bringing foods like asparagus into the picture. The high purine content in asparagus can trigger these attacks and lead to more pain and swelling. If you're someone who's had gout flare-ups before, adding asparagus to your plate might just make things worse. Unfortunately, those painful attacks tend to hit older joints especially hard, and as we age, our joints can become more sensitive and less resilient. So, why risk it? While asparagus does have its perks, like being rich in vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants, it's not the best choice if you're prone to gout or have a history of high uric acid levels. But don't worry, you don't have to say goodbye to tasty veggies altogether. There are plenty of gout-friendly alternatives that are just as nutrient-dense and easier on your joints. For instance, you could swap asparagus for spinach. Just remember to enjoy it in moderation due to its own oxalate content. Or green beans, which are rich in vitamins and fiber but won't send your uric acid levels soaring. So, while asparagus might be irregular on the dinner table for many, if you're dealing with gout or even just a history of high uric acid levels, it's probably a good idea to keep it off your plate. There are other options that will give you similar health benefits without putting your joints through unnecessary pain. It's all about making choices that work best for your body, and sometimes that means giving up a veggie that's a little too aggressive for your system. There you have it, the 7 vegetables that seniors should avoid to keep their bodies running smoothly. It's not about demonizing vegetables or saying you should never eat them again. It's about making mindful choices to ensure that the foods you eat support your health rather than hinder it. You don't have to eliminate these veggies entirely from your diet, but you do need to understand when and how much is safe for you to consume. Your body will thank you for it in the long run, and you'll be able to keep feeling good and living life to the fullest. So, what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Being mindful of the foods you eat as a senior is key to maintaining a healthy lifestyle. While some veggies are packed with nutrients, others can be more trouble than they're worth. By avoiding the 7 vegetables we've talked about today, you can reduce your risk of digestive issues, kidney stones, thyroid problems, and other age-related health issues. Your body will thank you for the care and attention, and you'll be able to enjoy a long, healthy life with plenty of energy to spare. Thanks for watching, and remember, food is fuel. Choose wisely.